Hey guys, what's going on? So the Diablo 4 server slam has just finished, and I want to take a minute to talk about how Sorc is still good. Yeah, Sorc is still good. So I managed to get some time in. I couldn't get a whole lot of time in. I tried to test out what I could when I did. I started off making a Sorc on hardcore, obviously on veteran. Ended up killing the world boss on world tier 1 because it still pretty much does the same damage from what I can tell, but it's just got about half the health. I wasn't able to get into an instance when we were soloing it, but there was a group of randoms and things there, and they died. Well, a bunch of them died anyway. But yeah, I'll bring up some footage and stuff so you can check that out. We actually did really good there. Sorc felt really quite nice. I had the legendary aspects for chain lightning, where it gives you extra bounces if it bounces off you and then onto the boss, and also getting mana back every time it bounces. So that worked quite well, but there was a whole bunch of things that I did manage to test during the server slam, and Sorc felt really good still because there are some pretty hefty nerfs. Now if I come over to here, you can see that these are kind of like unofficial patch notes because they gave us a bit of information before, which seemed really good, but if you're not aware, there's actually a lot of changes that happen. So let me just move myself over this side. Right, here we go. Sorc skills and talents. See, like frostbolt, lucky hit chance went up, which is cool. Firebolt, lucky hit chance went up. Spark had some changes. Ice shards, lucky hit down. Look at this, frozen orb, lucky hit from 20% to 4%. That's massive. Incinerate, they can buff it, but it's still shit. Unless they can make this so you can like move at the same time, or there's some like unique or something where it like auto activates and you can just like run and it just like fires out flamethrowers or something. That would make this actually quite cool, but apart from that, this skill is absolutely useless. Charge bolts had a few changes as well. This one isn't actually too bad now. Charge bolt's not too bad. Right, hitting enemy at least 3 times with a cast of charge bolts releases a lightning nova, so they buffed the damage of that. I tested that a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. It wasn't amazing. It was okay. And then, like, you know, you get 5 bolts come out and they deal 28% damage each. So charge bolts got a bit of a buff, but I feel like this is still missing something. Chain lightning, obviously that got a nerf, 42% down to 36. It bounces 5 times, and also here, if the chain lightning bounces off you, its next hit deals 10% increased damage rather than 25. But do you know what? It was still good. Like, I still found it okay, to be honest. I was using it not as good as it was during the last beta, obviously, but I still found it quite useful. Things that did annoy me was Frost Nova. So cooldowns has been like nerfed from 15 seconds up to 24. This was quite a bit of a pain. And even here, so killing frozen enemies by Frost Nova reduces its cooldown by 1 second instead of 2, and, you know, up to 4 seconds per cast rather than 6. That was a really frustrating nerf. So depending on what might happen late game with cooldown reduction items and things like that, Frost Nova, I really love the skill. I think it goes absolutely amazing with the Ice Shard enchantment to just like teleport into a bunch of enemies and just blow them all up by just hitting Frost Nova, and it automatically casts out. Fantastic. But having the cooldown up at 24 seconds meant that there were so many times where I just needed it and it just had like 4 or 5 seconds left, and I was like, come on. You know, that was a bit frustrating. So I kind of hope that they lower that a little bit more, or at least at late game it's not too bad, because I know obviously there's a legendary aspect that gives you another cast of it. I didn't manage to get it on this beta, but I had it on the last one. That was amazing. But this being nerfed, because I used to be able to use it all the time and it just felt fantastic. It was really fast at clearing. But yeah, that's quite a bit of a nerf there. Teleport is still great. Ice blades, this one here, the cooldown spammy build that I've got like builds on my YouTube channel of, yeah, they're kind of dead in the water now. So like summon ice blades, so it's from 50% down to 20% of enhanced ice blades cooldown reduction is applied to your skill. So that's quite a nerf there. And ice blades cooldown is reduced by half a second rather than 1 second now every time it hits a vulnerable enemy. You know, with the ice enchantment one like this, yeah, this has been nerfed pretty hard. Hydra, I actually still found Hydra useful. So one of the best things about Hydra, because look, it's gone from 30% damage down to 12, which is under half. So yeah, it's a pretty brutal nerf. And even the duration's gone down, because Hydra was hella strong. And now it's still okay, to be honest. And to say, like, one of the best things about Hydra is being able to put it down and run around. So if you're low on health, or you're low on, you've used up all your healing pots. So like I was on hardcore. I found it very useful to just put it down and run around and dodge stuff while it did a bit of damage. And then when I had like my mana back or something like that, then I'd be able to carry on casting some of the skills. Obviously, I would like move, hit, but I still found this quite useful, even with these quite significant nerfs. And again, I only had the one head at a time. I didn't have the legendary aspect. Lightning Spear, I still find this one pretty average. I feel like it's okay, but I still find this pretty average. Lucky hit chance has been nerfed as well, but I just can't find a way to make this good at the moment. Meteor, I didn't get to test. I ran out of time. I really wanted to test this, but I didn't get a chance to. Ball Lightning, the same. I didn't get a chance. But Firewall. Now, Firewall is actually now pretty strong because of the nerfs to other things. Firewall didn't really get changed. You know, the lucky hit chance has gone down. But it's actually quite a high damaging skill. I actually highly recommend Firewall. And again, like the build that I fought against Ashava with was Chain Lightning based because I had some legendary aspects for it. If I didn't have that, I would have hands down gone Firewall. I did manage to test this in some group play and also for solo, just like going through some dungeons, killing bosses and things. And I can highly recommend Firewall. I think this is fantastic at the moment. And obviously we didn't get to go into like Deep Freeze and Inferno. And then obviously there was some of the changes to the passives and things. It's okay. But honestly, even with all of these, Sorceress is still hella good. It's still hella good. The defensive cooldowns are so strong compared to like some of the other classes, like Flame Shield. Even though, like, you know, burning surrounding enemies for 40% damage per second, it got a damage buff. Yeah, but it's just this. You're immune. It's just so powerful. And especially on like hardcore, like this is really good. Ice armor as well, very, very strong, very good. There's even like passives to be able to buff the duration of your barriers. So that was hella good. But yeah, I tell you what was amazing though is Arc Lash. And I want to talk a bit about Arc Lash, and I'll pull up some footage now that I had of me testing out an Arc Lash build. Now, I put 5 points into Arc Lash. I put Fireball as the enchantment and only had 1 skill point in Fireball. And as you'll see, like, I was demolishing, absolutely demolishing enemies and groups. You know, that whole kind of like popcorn explosion you get from the Fireball enchantment. I can't recommend that enough for solo play. Maybe for duo, but it's not that good when you get up to like 4 people, because the whole premise of that is you need to kill things quickly and then it just, you know, chain reaction, everything explodes. So if you can kill things quickly, which obviously is a lot easier to do when you're on solo, then yeah, it's great. But in group play, not so much. So that's a bit of a recommendation there. But I was very surprised with how much damage and how good it felt to play Arc Lash with the movement speed passive. It was just so much fun. Like, I didn't realize going a more like melee Sorceress was going to be so good, because the skill does a lot of damage, especially like a lot of other things have been nerfed down. This didn't get touched. It has a lot of damage, increases your movement speed, it can stun. Highly recommend it. And here you'll see, I'll jump to the bit where I was fighting the Butcher. So I actually found the Butcher. Again, this is on hardcore. The first time I'd found it, and I'm on veteran. And yeah, watch how I've got movement speed and I can just kite around him. And he actually misses loads of his attacks because I'm just running quite fast around him. So something that I'm now very, very excited about when the game comes out is to make a lightning movement speed like arc lash build. And I think you could be able to get proper zoomies with this and also be able to clear very well. So it just depends with in later game, you know, going into melee as a sorceress. Is that going to be a problem? Honestly, with how strong the defensive skills are, like, I don't think so. I think the defensive skills on sorceress are incredible. Even with like teleport, you can take 30% reduced damage from teleport. And there are other skills as well that you can actually, like with charge bolts, you can use that and make enemies deal 20% less damage. Very strong. So overall, guys, I think we're pretty safe with sorceress. It still felt really good to use, and I even had people from the stream, right? I even had people from the stream saying that they were trying other classes like Necro, things like that, and then they went over to Sorc because I basically shoved it down their throat, right? Play Sorc, try it out, you should do it, right? And yeah, they loved it, absolutely loved it. It just felt so good. So honestly, guys, the video I've just made, right, my plan to main Sorc and keep pushing with Sorc is still very valid. I'm going to be pushing forward with that. I just, out of playing other classes, I just can't have as much fun. You know, I just want to play Sorc. There it is, I want to play Sorc. So, and remember to sub for more D4 content. We've still got the Diablo 4 giveaway, which I'll be doing very soon. And yeah, like, join Discord, all that jazz. I stream on Twitch. See you there. All right. Peace out, everybody. See you in the next one.